Good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. Welcome to week 12. We are on the home stretch. Hopefully you feel it now that we're well into November. The time changed. And yeah, this month is going to go by so fast. Let's take a look at what this week has in store for us. The first thing that I just need to remind you of is that we will be starting Trevor Noah's memoir, Born a Crime, next week. Now, as I mentioned last week, there are a variety of different formats for this particular memoir. I do have a PDF that I will be posting online. You're welcome to use that. I would encourage you to use a physical copy of the book. You can find those. There should still be some at the LMC bookstore. Most independent bookstores or Barnes & Noble, Amazon, you can find Born a Crime. It's been out for a while, so you should be able to find copies. You may even be able to find a used copy at the local used bookstore. The other thing that I would recommend, if you are able to do it, is to download the Audible app and sign up for their free 30-day trial. You have to put your credit card information in, or your ATM, or kind of whatever, whatever card you use. But if you sign up for the trial, then you can listen to the book as we're studying it. He narrates it himself. It's perfect. It's funny. He's a great narrator. And then just before the 30 days is over, cancel your trial so you won't be charged anything. So you have some free opportunities available to you, but we are starting it next week, and you will need to have access to the text. So again, I'll have a PDF for you, but if you want something other than on your computer, you might want to get a hold of that this week. All right. So our focus this week is essay number 3. I will have your rough drafts back to you today. So by the end of the day today, my goal is to have your essay number 3 rough drafts back to you. You can go ahead and check now on your Google Doc or check in Canvas grades to see whether or not yours has been returned. I'm not holding them. As soon as I'm done with them, I'm releasing them to you. So you can check Canvas to see if yours is there. All right, so this week, our focus really is on essay number 3 and reading more for essay number 3. Sorry. Last thing I do want to mention, and it'll come up in the module, today's the due date for your essay number 2 revision. So if you did not get a chance to meet with me yet about the revision, I do have some appointments left today. So definitely check that. And then the revision page that we'll see in just a minute will explain what you need to do in order to submit your revision. Okay. So here's the revision page. Again, it's optional. If you have an incomplete, you must revise because the essay needs to be complete in order to kind of earn credit essentially for the class. But if you're planning on revising and you haven't yet met with me, again, I have appointments today. If those don't work, email me. We'll figure something out. This page gives you all of the details about what you need to do in order to revise. And again, it's due by 11:59 p.m. tonight. As I always do, post the essay in our module so that way you can kind of remember what we're working towards. This is the college essay, so here's all the information that you need to know about this essay. And then the conferences. I'll start the essay number 3 conferences on Wednesday. So you can meet with me anytime Wednesday and beyond. And then next week, I'll have a whole bunch of essay number 3 conferences available to you. The one thing that you'll want to work on this week for your essay, right, is your counter argument. Now, keep in mind that one of the things that I'm really trying to push you towards is, or push you, I guess, away from that 3-point thesis, right? Away from that thesis that says, I am going to write about A, B, and C, and then your paragraphs are just simply A, B, and C, right? We're trying to move past that. And one of the ways I want you to really think about moving past that is adding a counter argument. And that I want you to think about your counter argument as the 4th body paragraph, right? So almost all of the drafts that I've seen so far have 3 body paragraphs. Okay, great. 4th body paragraph is the counter argument. And the idea behind the counter argument, and you'll see it in this reading here, the idea behind the counter argument is to acknowledge the other perspective and to say that perspective is valid. However, and then you kind of come back into your argument. So if your argument is that that college is the best option for you and that it's what you need to have a sustainable job in the future, okay? And you have your first 3 body paragraphs all kind of breaking that down. The opposing view might be, well, according to the college payoff site, I could get a good job without a bachelor's degree. And then maybe you cite a piece of information there. And then you come back around and say, however, right, I'm looking maybe at my lifetime earnings, or maybe I'm looking at staying in California, so I know I need to have a job that pays more, right? Excuse me. The counter argument is just a way to acknowledge that there is an opposing side, acknowledge it is valid, right? And then come back into your argument. So I want you to think about doing that for your 4th body paragraph. This page in the module will kind of explain how to do that. Again, this is one of those embedded textbook pages. So you're going to kind of scroll and you're going to click on the blue next until you're only going to read 3 pages there. Okay. And this will just kind of give you the nuts and bolts of how to write the counter argument. But again, I want you to think about the counter argument as that 4th body paragraph. And again, that will kind of help you move out of that 3 paragraph thesis model. Or 3, yeah, sorry. All right, using evidence. I compiled a page, and this is also in the essay skills module here, but all about using evidence. That's one thing that I noticed that folks were struggling with just a little bit in essay number 2. And so I wanted to give you some different ways to kind of think about using evidence. So these are all videos, right? I think videos are a really quick, good, easy way to figure out how to incorporate evidence. So there's 4 different videos here. The top 2 are about using evidence in your writing. The bottom 2 are about MLA. The works cited page, many of you have this down, but I included it anyway. The in-text citations are tricky, and so I included that also. So this is just kind of a review. On the very bottom, these are ways to integrate your evidence. So for those of you who like to actually see it, there are 4 different ways down here to introduce your evidence. So I thought that that might be helpful for you. So this is more of just a review. All right, and then one of the last things that I did was I am showing you an essay here from a student. Of course, I have it written by Morgan Freeman, but it's from one of my previous students. And so what I wanted to show you was kind of what this essay looks like with evidence woven in. And so, again, this is not a perfect essay. It's not 100%, it's not an A+, but it's a strong essay in terms of how the writer is using evidence. So I wanted you to see a student example of what that looked like, especially and kind of how I'm reacting to it in the comments on the sidebar. So you can kind of get a sense of that. Okay. This week for the readings, what I'm going to be doing is I'm giving you 5 or 6 different articles. And you can kind of skim them and choose which one or more that you want to read. I'm not going to assign one particular reading over another. I'm going to leave it up to you to decide. And then at the end of the week, you have to do a discussion board where you just kind of write about whatever article it was that you read. And in that way, everyone in the class will kind of see what other people have read, and then maybe you'll think, oh, I didn't read that article. I'm going to go back because maybe it's going to help me in my essay. Okay. So the first article is called "A College Degree is No Guarantee of a Good Life." Again, you can access it as a Word or as a PDF file. The second is a very famous article some of you may have read already called Blue Collar Brilliance by he's an educator, Mike Rose. Talks about how his mom was a waitress essentially and She didn't go to college, but she had a very successful life. The next one, college isn't for everyone. So you can kind of see how maybe one or more of these articles might be of use for you in your counter argument, depending on what your argument is. The next one, 2-year degrees can really pay off. So this is more kind of, again, about, do we really need that 4-year degree, right? And then the last one, what's wrong with vocational school, right? Is we don't talk a lot in the States about the trades. In European countries, students who go into the trades are kind of valued and seen as even above students who go to a university, right? But that's not necessarily how it is here in the States. And so this article kind of brings some of that discussion to light. Like, why aren't we thinking about that in that way? Why aren't we thinking about those trades and their certificate programs as being as valid as a 4-year degree? And so this article, I think, speaks to that just a little bit. And then here's your discussion board, right? Again, you just are going to be reading one or more of the articles, and then you decide which one you want to write about. Yeah. And then ideally, reply to one of your peers by Friday. You might wonder why it's a Friday date instead of Thursday. You don't have school on Thursday. It's Veterans Day. And so I moved the due date away from Thursday and put it on Friday. Okay. There's your reminder there about don't forget to post a reply. And then you have your writing territory number 12. That, of course, is due by Friday with the grace period of Saturday at noon. And that's it. That takes us to the end of this week. Really, what I want you to be focusing on for this week is, doing some of those readings, figuring out maybe this is another source you could add to your essay. Remember, you need to have at least 3 sources, with one of them coming from class material. All of them can come from class material if you choose, but one is required to be coming from class material. So once you kind of do the readings and you're working on your essay, I really want you to be kind of knee deep in your rough draft and thinking about, what am I going to change? What am I going to revise? Meet with me as many times as you would like. I have openings on Wednesday. I don't have any on Thursday because it's a holiday and technically school is closed. Friday I am in a meeting all day. So next week is really I'm just full of meetings next week. So, but definitely try and schedule something on Wednesday if you would like to meet on the earlier end. And of course, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to let me know. Keep in mind, Born a Crime starts next week. Once you turn the essay in, we start Born a Crime. It's a fun book. Students really enjoy it. But go ahead and get your hands on a copy of it this week if you're thinking that you want an actual physical book. Let's see if I have a copy of it. My copy of it is not in front of me right now. Otherwise, I would hold it up for you. Let me go find it. Hold on a second. Okay, so that was kind of a funny pause. But this is what the book looks like. So if you are going to acquire a physical copy, make sure that you are not getting the young adult version. You're just getting the regular Trevor Noah Born a Crime. They have a version for young kids, but it very clearly says for young kids or young readers edition. That's not the one that you want. Okay, you want the one, it's blue, got a gold binding, right? For those of you who don't know who Trevor Noah is, he is the host of The Daily Show on the Comedy Central network. So you can kind of check him out to see a little bit about him. All right, that's it for today. I hope you have a great week. Let me know if there's anything I can do to help you. Take care.